What drives a country to the dark side? Is it power? Is it money? Or is it something else entirely? In Russia, the answer is often a mix of all three. The dark side of Russian society is a world of crime, corruption and violence. Well, how? It's a world where the strong prey on the weak and the law is often for sale. This dark side has always been a part of Russian society, but it has become more prevalent in recent years. The collapse of the Soviet Union and the ensuing economic chaos created a power vacuum that was filled by organized crime. Since then, the Russian mafia has become a major player in the country's economy, and its reach extends far beyond Russia's borders. Let's cross the border to find out the root of Russia's dark miracle. Come into the bunker because the truth bomb is yet to be revealed. Press the red button, subscribe panic button to stay connected to more truth bombs. The Russian mafia is involved in everything from drug trafficking and prostitution to money laundering and extortion, and they are not the only ones profiting from the dark side of Russian society. Corruption is rampant at all levels of the government, and it's not uncommon for officials to use their positions of power to line their own pockets. The result is a society where the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, and it's a society where the rule of law is often for sale. If you're looking for a quick way to make a lot of money, Russia is the place to be. But it's also a place where you could end up dead if you're not careful. Let's talk a bit about the history first. What was the fall of the Soviet Union like for the Russian people? For many Russians, the fall of the Soviet Union was a time of great confusion and uncertainty. The Soviet Union had been their home for generations, and suddenly it was gone. Overnight, they had to learn to live in a new country with new rules and a new way of life. For some, the transition was difficult. They missed the stability and predictability of life under the Soviet Union. They didn't know how to navigate the new capitalist economy and were struggling to make ends meet. Others, however, saw the fall of the Soviet Union as an opportunity. They were excited to finally be able to live and work freely without the restrictions of the communist government. They embraced the new opportunities and challenges that came with the change. Overall, the fall of the Soviet Union was a time of great upheaval for the Russian people. It was a time of change and adaptation, and ultimately, it was a time of hope for a better future. Then, how did the rise of organized crime impact the Russian people? The rise of organized crime in Russia had a profound impact on the Russian people. It created an atmosphere of fear and insecurity and led to a sharp increase in crime and violence. Many people were forced to pay protection money to criminal gangs, and those who refused were often subjected to brutal violence. The rise of organized crime also had a devastating effect on the Russian economy, as businesses were forced to pay huge sums of money to criminal gangs. This had a knock-on effect on the Russian people, as they saw their standard of living decline sharply. How do the Russian people feel about their current Ukraine situation? The current situation in Ukraine is a result of the ongoing conflict between the Ukrainian government and pro-Russian separatists. This conflict began in 2014 when pro-Russian separatists in the eastern region of Ukraine began to call for independence from the Ukrainian government. The Ukrainian government responded by sending in military forces to quell the uprising. This led to a civil war that resulted in over 10,000 deaths and displaced over 1.5 million people. The conflict has also led to a major economic crisis in Ukraine, as the country has lost access to much of its territory and its economy has been severely damaged. What do you think about how dark Russia will go in the current conflict with Ukraine? Tell us in the comment section below. Do like the video and subscribe to our channel.